Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss some important terms used in the ecology. First term is photochemical smog. Photochemical smog is also known as Los Angeles smog, as it occurs most prominently in urban area that have large number of automobiles. It requires neither smoke nor fog. This type of smog has its origin in the nitrogen oxide and hydrocarbon vapors emitted by the automobiles and other sources, which then undergo photochemical reactions in the lower atmosphere. So NO2 and hydrocarbon vapors, they are essential for the formation of photochemical smog. Second is the London smog. The Great Smog of London, lethal smog that covers the city of London for 5 days from December 5 to 9 in 1952. It is caused by the combination of industrial pollutants and high pressure weather conditions. This combination of smoke and fog brought the city to near standstill and resulted in the thousands of deaths. So in the case of London smog, smoke plus fog mix together to form the smog. Next term, it is the global warming. As you know, these days this problem is increasing and increasing due to the production of more and more of carbon dioxide because of the automobiles, because of the industries, and also the chlorofluorocarbons which are produced by the various toiletries and the burning. So when the carbon dioxide, it is increased in the atmosphere, as you all know, it can absorb heat. That increases the temperature and that leads to the global warming. So with increased temperature worldwide, the increase in the sea level, melting of ice from the colder region and icebergs, displacement and loss of habitat have already signaled and impending disaster if actions for the preservation and normalization aren't undertaken soon. So global warming is a severe problem in nature due to the carbon dioxide. Next is the acid rain. The harmful gases like nitrogen oxide and sulfur oxide are released into the atmosphere during the burning of the fossil fuel. When it rains, the water droplets coming or combine with the air pollutants and become acidic, and then they fall on the ground in the form of acid rain. Acid rain can cause great damage to humans, animals, as well as the crops. Next term is eutrophication. Eutrophication is a condition where a high amount of nitrogen present in some pollutants get developed on the sea surface or water body and turns itself into algae and adversely affect fish, plants, and the animal species. Normally, because of excessive fertilizers used for the crops, when the rainfall is there, they'll all move towards the water body where the nitrogen content, it becomes increased. That leads to the algal bloom, that is the multiplication of the algae in a huge amount. When the algal bloom is there, it will cut the outer air or oxygen and that oxygen will not circulate inside the water body, leads to the death of the animals inside and causes the eutrophication, that is the surface of the water body, it becomes raised, and a day comes when the water body is lost completely. Next term is the depletion of the ozone layer. Ozone layer, as you know, it is a protective layer outside our earth because it protects us from the UV radiation. So this ozone, it exists in the earth's stratosphere and is responsible for protecting humans from the harmful UV radiation. So it is depleted. It is depleted because of the presence of chlorofluorocarbons, hydrofluorocarbons in the atmosphere. As the ozone layer becomes thin, it will emit harmful rays back on the earth and can cause skin and eye related problems. So UV rays, they also have a capability to affect the crops. So ozone depletion is because of the increased amount of chlorofluorocarbons as well as the hydrochlorofluorocarbons. Next term is deforestation. Deforestation means the cutting of the forest. So deforestation, it can cause the soil erosion. When these loose soil particles enter a water body, they can make the water musky. This can make the water musky and is also has a potential to cause mechanical damage to the aquatic organism. So basically deforestation is dangerous for the ecosystem because if the forests they are not there, then fresh air it will not be available, clean water will not be available, the climate it will be changed, and more instances of global warming will be seen. Next term is the MINAMATA disease. MINAMATA disease is caused through the absorption of methyl mercury into the body through various environmental sources, primarily through the seafood. The level of mercury in the body is tested with hair sample, and it is widely agreed that when these levels they are higher than the 50 parts per million, there is likely to be the nervous damage. So nerve damage is there in Minamata disease. It is because of more mercury inside the body. Then next term is the blue baby syndrome. Blue baby syndrome is also known as the infant's methemoglobinemia. It is a condition when the body of the baby skin it turns blue. This occurs due to the decreased amount of hemoglobin in the baby's blood. The most common cause of blue baby syndrome is water contaminated with nitrates. As you know, these days the problem of nitrates is more because of the more use of fertilizers in the crop. Next term is plumbism. Lead poisoning is also known as plumbism and saturnism. It is a type of metal poisoning caused by lead in the body. The symptoms they may include the abdominal pain, the constipation, headache, irritability, then the memory problems, infertility, and tingling in the hands and feet. Normally this problem is there in the case of the painters. Next terminology is biochemical oxygen demand, that is BOD. BOD is the amount of dissolved oxygen needed by the aerobic biological organism to break down the organic material present in a given water sample at certain temperature over a specific period of time. So BOD is the biochemical oxygen demand to break down the organic material present in the water sample. So BOD value is most commonly expressed in milligrams of oxygen consumed per liter of sample during 5 days of incubation at 20 degrees centigrade. So normally what is observed that if the BOD of a water sample is more, it means the water sample is more polluted with the organic material. And if the BOD is less for the water sample, it means the water is having less amount of organic pollutant. So I think so these terms, they are clear to you. Thank you.